One of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my entire life. Is this the best viewpoint in the whole of Patagonia? Welcome to another Gaz Right video, and today we are halfway, we've conquered and we're on our way back down of Cerro Otto, and it's one of the most majestic views I have ever seen, like Switzerland on steroids, gorgeous alpine lakes and everything in between. Couple benefits: not only is it gorgeous views, it's an easy walk, 8 kilometers, I'd say pretty gentle uphill. But if you think, Gaz, I'm not about that hiking, not about that walking life, it doesn't matter. There's a teleferico that will take you straight to the top to get the old views in the bones. I've got some absolute ruthless MP4 files that hopefully are just going to be good, draining and drenching and drizzling into the old retinas as we speak. Just sat on a little rock surveying the kingdom. Speaking of kingdom, solo today, the king is in absolute disarray. She's really hurt her neck, so you know the show must go on. We battled up the mountain myself, so this is a pretty good walk, one for the views, but two because it's actually walkable from the centre of Bariloche. Again, I'm going to mispronounce it every day we're here, you know what I'm talking about, San Carlos de Bariloche. So it's about a 1 kilometre walk from our Airbnb to the start. If you want to know the exact walk we did, it's pretty easy, but just bang me a comment and I'll send you the link on All Trails. And then the walk itself said it's 7.5 kilometres, but it's actually 6 kilometres on All Trails, and then an extra kilometre when you get to the top. The road itself, do you know what I mean? Is it the best road to be walking up? Is it the most picturesque? No, you're literally just walking up a gravel actual road. There's cars flying past, and it does get a little bit dusty as you're going, but the views, after you probably walk the first 1 or 2 kilometres, the views are absolutely spectacular. We're just talking alpine lakes flying into the old eyes the whole time, and it is incredibly windy up here. But yeah, the blueness of the water is absolutely mesmerising. You've got the backdrop of the mountains, the snow, the peaks, the arêtes, the glaciers. It's just absolutely stunning. I said it yesterday, this is what I pictured when we said we're going to come to Patagonia, just getting amongst it in the old mountains. In terms of the walk itself, so the walk I've done is 8 kilometres each way from the centre of town. I'm just going to say town now so you know I don't have to mispronounce that again. And it took me like 1 hour 35, 1 hour 40 on the way up, so I'm going to be quicker on the way down. The guide time was like 2:25, and that's without the walk from town, so you can absolutely smash the walk time. I've had to take things a little bit easy. As you know, if you follow the channel for a little while, the old ITB band, I'm getting it not only in the right leg now, but also in the left leg. So looking forward to getting a bit of routine back in the old UK. Going to be dropping a few fitness goals on the channel to mix things up going forward. Well, that'll be coming in a couple of weeks time. But yeah, there's a car park at the bottom you can park at. There's a car park halfway up. There's people parked on the road. And like I say, you can drive all the way to the top, but you can also get the teleferico up to the top as well. But for me, it always tastes sweeter when if you work out all week and then you have some beers at the weekend, if you do a big hike and then you're taking in the gorgeous views, don't get me wrong, if you get the teleferico up here, it's still stunning, but you know what I mean, it's just that sweet, sweet nectar when you've earned it. One of the cool things, or good things, I think this is in general about South America, but what I've noticed, you get this a lot hiking in the north in the UK. People saying hello, people saying buenas, people saying buen dia, ciao, whatever it is. They're not saying that in the north of England. We've just discovered fire and learned how to bloody speak up there. But everyone speaks on the walk, super, super friendly, super, super safe to walk up here. And yeah, super easy. I got the drone up at the start because I did read some forums online saying it's super windy at the top and there's no way I could fly the drone off the top. I think one, they'd probably not allow me to because it's a bit commercial at the top, to be honest. But yeah, it's super windy. It was like 15 kilometers an hour, quarter of the way up, and it's probably about 20-25 at the top, with loads of big birds of prey just flying about, letting me know not to fly the old drone. But yeah, got some absolutely outrageous shots early on. For me, one of the loosest things you can do at the top, you can go paragliding. Some guy stops there walking, he's like, oh, do you want to go paragliding? Absolutely not, old boy. But if that is your bag of tricks, of course you can get yourself in there. sat with some Argentinian people at the top, just chilling, relaxing on their table. They're drinking their mate, I'm drinking a little Pepsi Max. Just absolutely outrageous scenery and things, again, you love to see. The top is a little bit more commercialized, I'd say, like the teleferico you've got up there. They've got like a little Go Ape section, and it's like a lot more like pay for entry. Like the best viewpoint at the actual top, you have to pay to go in that viewing platform, even though you can go like 99% of the way up. So I'm not sure why people would pay to go in that. But yeah, the views here, absolutely sensational. The walk itself, obviously, if you saw the walk that we did yesterday, the walk yesterday was a lot harder. Beautiful views at the top. Again, obviously, you'd line up at the top of obviously a little glacier, a little hill. That was a lot more of a difficult hike. I think it was 18.8 kilometers in total. Today's hike will be 16 in total, but I would say this is, easy to moderate, to be honest. If you've got absolutely terrible VO2 max on you, you would probably say moderate. Like there's no points on this where you're like, oh my God, it's so steep. It's battering the calves, it's battering the quads. So yeah, super easy to get up. But I think when we talk on this channel, I prefer it when it's a really hard walk or really hard hike, because you get less people on it. And ultimately, if you're going up a steeper incline, depending on the time you're walking, of course, but usually the view is better. Like with the one we did in Acatenango, the ones we do in Switzerland, you get less people on them. So, I mean, it's just a bit more of a sense of achievement. But I think the severity of the walk versus the views that you get up here are absolutely second to none. It's absolutely stunning. One of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my entire life. Just looking right now, you've got Bariloche in the distance. You've got the whole lake. You've got the mountains. You've got one side that's obviously dense in forest and towns on the side that we're hiking on, and then the far side, which I was saying yesterday, or 2 days ago now, when we first landed, very much reminding me of like Mongolia, the open plains, a lot more arid, and that's kind of like going into, I guess, the wilderness. And then in the middle, the lake is so rich in like, it looks like as if like you've whacked saturation up super high on the lake, because yeah, it's absolutely stunning. And then in the afternoons, all the sailboats come out on the lake, so you're going to see them gliding across in the distance. And then obviously you've got all like the towns, and then it goes out to like different islands, and yeah, it's just absolutely stunning. We went to Nepal earlier this year. I've done hiking in Switzerland, been hiking up in the Andorran mountains where Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard do their training and best work in the old Tour de France. But for me, nothing compares to what I've seen yesterday and today. If you're somebody that enjoys hiking, likes the outdoors, this is 100% the place to come to. I think one thing that I've learned, I am a 100% an outdoorsy person, getting amongst it in the wilderness, going on tough hikes, yeah, just getting in the thick of it. Love a viewpoint, absolute sucker for a viewpoint. Sunsets or a sunrise on top of that, even better. But just to hike up and just take it in, for me, is sensational. But there's one thing I have learned on this trip, and this, if you've been watching a little while, we are the bougie backpackers. We've done a few, like the one in Guatemala where you camp on the mountain. It was worth it for watching the volcano go off. It was worth it to do the sunrise hike. You can't see that in many other places in the world. And then even in Nepal, you know what I mean, we did the 3-day 2-night hike. One night was super basic, but you're still staying in like an actual accommodation, and the second night was actually banging, to be fair. But I've realised I'm all about the day hikes. Loads of people we met yesterday, they're camping up in the mountain, in the cold, in the snow. And as much as I like pushing the boundaries from a fitness standpoint, from a professional standpoint, a business standpoint, whatever it is, I do enjoy, at the end of a tough day, hiking, getting in the thick of it, when you're covered in mud, dirt, sweat, tears, salt, whatever it may be. Do you know what I mean? To go back, shower, rinse, repeat, and reset for the next day. So yeah, for me, on this channel, you're going to get like the best day hikes. We do mix in a few of the old, longer, tougher ones. But yeah, for me, this, for the view that you get for the hike, or if you just get the teleferico, it is second to none in the world. One of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So we're going to finish off. That's my view. I'm just sat on a little rock. It's Monday. It's about 5:30 at the minute, maybe. Sun's out till 9:30 tonight. Getting the old vitamin D in the bones. We've learnt many things on this trip, and not to get too philosophical, but seeing the sun, getting regular vitamin D, I genuinely think is half the battle in life. Would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hiking, vitamin D, travel, Argentina. Questions as always, whack them down there. Hit the subscribe button. We're coming so close to 3K subs. Can we hit it by the end of Jan? That is the goal. Hit it. I'll see you tomorrow, babe. Remember, the chef is always cooking. Let's get it. Peace.